It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Ain't nobody out here making real music. Don't nobody wanna put their heart into it. Ain't nobody still speaking from the stove. Don't nobody wanna see the genre grow. Generation full of G's, where the killers when you need. Generation full of cowards making other brothers bleed. iPhone 17, niggas living in surveillance. Podcasts every day, no different than Skip Bayless. This my first tape, let the dirt shake, fuck a survey. 36 years, I'm hoping to see my birthday. What's the odds these publications can cancel me? Never been accepted, I represent what they never be. Culture vultures thriving, they show you what they feel more. David killed a teenage girl trending on Billboard. Streams any means, ain't none of it what it seems. Second term, the apprentice ain't nothing I could've dreamed. It's a sacrifice, had to life. Niggas ain't been rapping right. Pistol grip, pump bit, feed them for their appetite. Separate the man and mice, we cut the lights and pay the price. I take the charge and do it twice, send them niggas up to Christ. Ain't nobody out here making real music. Don't nobody wanna put their heart into it. Ain't nobody still speaking from the stove. Don't nobody wanna see the genre grow. Ain't nobody out here making real music. Don't nobody wanna put their heart into it. Ain't nobody still speaking from the stove. Don't nobody wanna see the genre grow.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, the number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this afternoon. This was not a planned video. I did not know that we were going to have this on the docket, but since we here, let's make the most of it. All right. So y'all know there's been this discourse in the hip hop media space, hip hop commentary space over the course of the last couple of years about this guy, What's the Dirt? Okay. We've spoken about him a few times on the channel. The first time I spoke about him, it was about the 616 in LA diss from Kendrick to Drake. And there were a lot of different things that he put into that video. And that's pretty much one of the videos that kind of really thrust him into the conversation about hip hop. Now, of course, there were other videos. I think there was the J. Cole Kendrick video where he tried to like decode any type of lyrics that he felt could have been perceived shots between them two. And I believe that there was a Drake and Kendrick video prior to that that kind of dug into it as well. But ever since 616 in LA, you know, it's been pretty much it's been highly suspected that dude has been compromised. His coverage has changed. He basically is now Drake's like YouTube and Twitter marketing, one of his marketing guys now. He's already revealed that him and Drake have some sort of speaking relationship, and Drake's team. He's already said that Drake and his team have personally lifted copyrights for him. They told him, you know, about the Iceman episode 3 and all of these different things that they were supposed to expect, which turned out to be a 52 fake out, which also put his credibility in question. But now he finds himself trying to take aim at I guess what you would call Kendrick channels. I don't know how I fall into the Kendrick channel category. I cover so much other stuff other than Kendrick and or Drake. I've been making it a point to do that. And honestly, my channel was never built on that. You could go back years into my content. Beef was not what I even got into this shit for. I never cared to choose between Kendrick or Drake until the battle kind of put everybody on a pick a side type of thing. And even then, although Kendrick is my favorite of the two and one of my favorites of all time, I don't think that Kendrick is without blemish. I don't think that there is, you know, you can't have critiques about his music or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, my name comes up in a lot of these conversations, and I know it's because I cover Drake stories that don't always seem to be favorable for Drake, but Drake creates a lot of this stuff. Um, Drake and his team create a lot of this stuff. They create narratives. His fans create narratives. Things go viral, and we react to the viral stories. You know what I'm saying? But in the midst of reacting to viral stories, you can never say that J Nolan's channel is 100% or even primarily comprised of Drake content or Kendrick content, because in the meantime, I don't take no breaks. I'm on this motherfucker every day dropping, whether it be about new music, whether it be about whatever's going on in hip hop news and entertainment. But somehow I got thrown into it, right? So as he was I guess he put up this video on Twitter, and he was saying that these Kendrick channels are toxic and leaning on the word culture, which I find to be very interesting that you would even throw the word culture in the mix, being that you're not of or in the culture, you just are a spectator. But we'll get to why that's important shortly, okay? So at 7:18 p.m. last night, he puts this video and status up saying, bunch of frauds hiding behind the word culture, spewing hate and negativity for a living. As you can see, the first clip here has Charles Brown. Shout out to Charles Brown. I don't know him personally. We've never had a conversation before, but he seems to be a solid dude. He's a supporter. And he puts in work on his own. So let me go ahead and play this. And he starts there and he goes through some other content creators that you'll most likely recognize.
The thing that gets me about like these sorts of channels, like these Drake hate channels, is like a lot of these guys have really tried to position themselves as being the voice of the culture, like being the real. We are the ones who are representing the culture in the right way. We are the gatekeepers. We are the authentic version of the culture. But when you look at their channels, they're not doing anything positive for the culture. They're literally some of the most toxic people in the space. Like this channel, for example, constantly calls out academics when he's basically doing the same thing himself. There's a bunch of these channels that live for negative articles or news about Drake. Here's another one, another cultural crusader, right? Drake is selling OVO because he's broke. Drake hates women. Drake doesn't want respect. He wants to be desired. Do you guys feel like this is benefiting hip-hop culture? Do you think this is making a change? Do you think this is positive? Do you think this is moving the genre forward? Do you think this is helping? Then there's people like Glasses Malone, who's covering a lawsuit against Drake's OVO clothing company. Absolutely nothing to do with hip-hop music or pushing the culture forward. In fact, you think a lot of these guys, if they did care that much about the culture, that they would kind of look in the mirror and say, damn, maybe we're doing more harm than good. Maybe waking up every day and spreading hate against one man isn't actually doing anything for hip hop. Maybe, just maybe, we're part of the problem. And look, I'm just speaking facts. In many ways, these types of channels are even worse for hip hop because they only focus on hating one man. Zero passion or care goes into this content. Like, in reality, the biggest haters and the most toxic YouTube channels on the entire internet are pro-Kendrick channels. They're some of the most toxic people in the space. They're some of the worst people in the space, and that's just a fact. And this is how I know a lot of these people don't really care about the culture like that, because if they did, they would recognize what they're doing isn't doing anything beneficial. In fact, they're making it worse. Day by day, video by video, they're contributing to the negativity. They're contributing to the hate. They're quite literally some of the most negative voices and toxic people in the space, bar none. What I'm saying is common sense, right? Like, if you really care about the culture as much as you say you do, then you wouldn't be running a drama channel. You wouldn't be contributing to the toxicity in hip-hop. You wouldn't be spreading hate. You wouldn't be spreading negativity. That is 99% of these guys' channels. So no. None of these people are for the culture. I've said it for a long time. These people are for their bank accounts. They use the word culture because it's a great way to pull people in, but at the end of the day, none of these guys are for the culture, bro.
All right, so we saw him scroll through a bunch of different pages. You see that he his main search was OVO Drake lawsuit, which I find to be very interesting. That there's no way you could be for hip hop and be advocating for the Drake OVO lawsuit when it's around a diss record. You just in a battle that he goaded and wanted to be a part of, an active participant and slung around disparaging language and false allegations and fucked up things as well. There's no way that you can advocate for that or whoever did that and try to dictate what is and isn't good for the culture. Again, culture, a word that you shouldn't be using at all because you come tiptoeing your way into ours. This ain't your culture. You weren't born into it. You have no right of passage to it. You have no right to it, period. You're lucky that this shit is open source on the internet for you to even be involved in this shit. Okay? We're going to start there, but we're going to get a little further into the conversation. So you started on Charles Brown. You know what I'm saying? You made your way to Big Zoe. You made your way to ABSA. I don't know how much time you spent on ABSA's channel. She does a lot of legal breakdowns and stuff like that and speaks a lot of things from the legal standpoint and then gives you the cultural ramifications that come with it. Definitely not a Drake hate channel by any means. Not to say anyone else mentioned is either. You made your way to Glasses Malone's channel, and I know that he speaks about Drake a lot, makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and I do believe, you know, Glasses has more perspective to offer than talking about Drake as frequently. But one thing you can't take away from Glasses Malone is the fact that he was an artist himself. He had a record deal. He's put music out. He continues to put music out. He comes from a culture that you and motherfucking Drake have no business speaking on. Okay? There's a culture that Glasses Malone comes from that damn near every nigga in hip hop is out here cosplaying and wishing they could be a part of and using elements of to try to put validity and credibility behind their name and doing everything that they can to be a part of it, whether that be trying to get in by association, trying to pay tithes into the community, you know what I'm saying? Or just getting straight up extorted when they go into that motherfucking city. So you can't say what Glasses Malone can offer about the culture, period. Right? But where you really fucked up is when you put my channel up. When you came and scrolled your ass down on these parts. When you made your way down to the A thinking everything was okay. You understand what I'm saying? Because ain't no fucking way you can make your ass come to my channel and think that I'm 100% focused on Drake. I'm trying to get out of the Drake algorithm, nigga. Are you crazy? And a lot of the shit that be going on, I be turning a blind eye. For every 5 Drake stories, I might cover 2. Now, as this is the man that you're running behind, you're doing PR, you're doing crisis management on your own, on this nigga behalf. Why, I don't know. But one thing that I could give him that you don't even have is that he actually participated within the culture. Whether it was him getting his ass slapped by Diddy, whether it was his ass getting pissed on by T.I. Homeboy, whether it was him battling with Meek Mill, Pusha T, Kendrick, Kanye, and the list goes on of other niggas who got dissed or sneak dissed along the way. At least he brought his ass outside. At least he got up in the mix. For you, we can't even give you that, nigga. You report from Canada. You don't even come around these parts. You ain't even made your way around here to do shit, boy. You was a nobody in real life and online, but you do have a following on that YouTube channel. Speaking of, let's get to the YouTube channel since you want to talk about spewing negativity and hate for a living. Let's get into your bag of what you cover. We've done this before, but I guess you need a refresher on your own shit. My boy, without so-called negativity and hate, you don't exist. Are you fucking shitting me? Tupac versus Mobb Deep. Every diss explained from Kanye West Vulture's album. Kendrick Lamar versus J. Cole. Drake Push-Ups diss. Drake Taylor Made diss. Chris Brown versus Quavo. Kendrick Euphoria diss. Drake Family Matters diss. Drake versus J. Cole beef. How to Strangle a Goat. Joey Badass versus Kendrick Lamar. Drake Gimme a Hug diss. You got one outlier in this motherfucker, Meek Mill's Proud of Me verse. I'm sure you was proud of you too when you did that and stepped out the motherfucking box. Then you went right back to Kanye West versus Kendrick Lamar. Lil Wayne sneak disses Kendrick Lamar on the Carter 6. Drake's comeback album will break the internet. So from here forward, you've become Drake's excrement, okay? So you got Drake's comeback album will break the internet. So this is the Iceman era. Drake's entire Iceman EP rollout explained, which is also filled with negativity and hate and disses and sneak disses and imagery alluding to the same. The real reason why T-Pain hates Drake, when rap beef ended in violence, no less. Drake's entire Iceman episode 2 explained is crazy with Kendrick Lamar plastered in the back. How UMG cooked the battle between Drake and Kendrick. Drake's entire episode, Iceman, actually explained episode 3, the one where you had egg on your motherfucking face because they fed you bad info. Psychotic woman tries to end Metro Boomin's career. Every rumor that Young Thug clears up on Huey Scotty. Every time Nicki Minaj exposed Cardi B's industry cheating. You tried to dip your toes in the female rap and got the fuck up out of there. Playboy Cardi, the biggest piece of trash in music. But him and Drake was cool up until last year, right? The poetic justice theory 100% explained. He called it a scam. Hey man, I'm not an advocate for the poetic justice theory, but I tried to be as respectful as I possibly could, despite not agreeing. Drake's Iceman has industry gatekeepers terrified. Drake's net worth, isn't adding up. Kanye West bipolar disorder explained by bipolar YouTube. You try to step out the box once more out of a total of 2 years. J. Cole's fall off, full history. Okay, another step out. J. Cole's fall off is not what you think. The real reason why J. Cole dissed Jay-Z, we still don't know what the fuck is going on with J. Cole or Jay-Z, but you come trying to say that you know. Okay, J. Cole's birthday blizzard. You did a little bit of outside information when it came to the fall off era. Right? Then you came and said the entire internet got J. Cole's Poor Thing diss wrong. And this is where you actually came and stole your content from people like myself who were covering this and others who were in on it and decided to insert yourself into a situation. You referenced my video without saying who the fuck made it. You use clips from my video without saying who the fuck made it. But I guess I'm so toxic in the space, even the good work doesn't matter, right? You say, hey, man, this is Tank Tyler. We talked about Tank Tyler. I don't really give a fuck about it, though. We passed that shit. You go to 2-6. So the J. Cole era, you stepped out the box a little bit. J. Cole era passed, so did you. Why Drake and Ludacris had a 7-year beef. The rappers that apologized for their diss tracks. Drake's biggest diss on Iceman isn't a song, it's the stream, as of 8 days ago. We'll get back to that particular video, too, since you want to talk about people wanting to line their pockets and needing money. Oh, excuse me, this is it right here. UMG decided I make $0 from episode 4 breakdown. Now, how the fuck UMG decide that you make $0? Because you got some copyright claims, nigga. You ain't had to use the music. You have the option right now in your fucking dashboard to trim the music out of your video, but you don't want to. You got 649,000 views on a video. You know how much money you could have made and you wouldn't be out here begging motherfuckers to donate and join your weak ass Patreon that you ain't gonna do shit but keep doing these types of videos in, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a part of the culture, right? But when you come out here and try to put yourself on House on Haunted Hill and say, oh, I'm above this, these guys are even worse. They're toxic. Excuse me? I don't make a fucking living off of beef. I don't have 90% of my content circled around rap beef when shit gets violent and trying to craft stories. I didn't do that. I never put out a video saying that I have proof of Kendrick Lamar abusing his woman in Las Vegas and refusing to back down despite contrary information being put in your motherfucking face every day. What you did was try to go and find the so-called witness and email her, and she got the fuck on because your ass is weird. I ain't never stole from no motherfucking elderly people, my nigga. You could look in my background as much as you want. It's a lot of shit I done did. I ain't never did that one. And I ain't never been held accountable in public about no shit like that and said, oh, that was a lick. I'm that white guy. I ain't never had to say no shit like that. You can't tell me about no culture, boy. What culture is you from? What is your cultural background? But because you done got your way in with Drake, you think you could be the arbiter of some shit that's gonna be here after you, been here before you, and never intended to include you in the first motherfucking place. Are you serious? This the game you wanna play. But let's take it a step even further. I'm on your YouTube channel, been here for a minute. Your banner says, what's the dirt? Established 2022. So you've been in this space 4 years, maybe 3.5. I don't know. But I wasn't established in 2022. Damn sure didn't make my entry into all things hip hop in 2022, my boy. I have a whole history prior to YouTube. And I could tell you about my contributions to the culture online, offline, in person, from before then to now. So let's do it, okay? We ain't gonna do the full version. I'm gonna give you the abridged version today. But Do or Die by AZ got a whole fucking documentary. Guess who music is in that motherfucker? Narrated by Rakim, no less. You know what I'm saying? J Nolan do. I wasn't established in 2022, sir. I've been around. I've been contributing to the culture. I've been contributing to all things going on in this motherfucking culture, as a matter of fact. 2015, J Nolan on stage performing in Tennessee at a motherfucking college for a room full of developing young black children looking for direction. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homies in this picture. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm not gonna put y'all names out there, but I still fuck with y'all to this day. 2018. Look at all these faces you see in this motherfucker, okay? Nothing but the culture, okay? Fresh and Local Fest 2018. This was completely organized by J Nolan, all right? Shout out to my Fresh and Local folks, but back when we was doing Fresh and Local, y'all know J Nolan was the one doing all the organization. You know what I'm saying? Not a shot, just the truth. But everybody in this photo, they know J Nolan. They done came to J Nolan. J Nolan has solved problems for a lot of people in this photo, done business with people in this photo, created outlets and information, education for people in this very photo. To this day, still connected with 90% of these people. Some of these folks you might even recognize. Shout out to DJ Red Handed. Shout out to Ari the Gym. Stolen Drums is somewhere in here if you went to the beat production community. A lot of these people turned out to be some very important folks. You wouldn't even know. But they know what the fuck it was. Shout out to Keith Turner, who was on Muddy Waters 2. Redman's last album. She in this photo. Personal friend. Shout out to London Elixir. We make a lot of music for television and film. Educate a lot of people in that space as well. 2019, Songwriter Social Club, an event I put together myself, partnered with General Assembly and Fiverr.com on my own reach out and outreach, bringing people to come educate songwriters, producers, and artists about the music business. You can't talk about contributing to the culture with me, homeboy, ever in life. Another edition of the Songwriter Social Club. If you're an artist, songwriter, or producer who's in the YouTube community, I'm sure you've seen this man's face before. Music Money Makeover Show. Yeah, Casey Graham, that's the homie. Got him to come talk to the people about getting their bread and getting their contracts and all that shit in order so that they can actually make an equitable living off of their music. You cannot talk to me about contributing to no motherfucking culture. J Nolan, Loaded Lux. That's from my Hot 97 shit that I did. I've played y'all the video before. I don't need to play it again. But again, I was handpicked by Loaded Lux to be in New York. Got flown out, room and board covered because of my contributions to the culture as a lyricist outside of covering shit on YouTube and just shooting this shit and talking about what other men got to say. I can actually get behind the mic and say what the fuck I gotta say lyrically and put my own contributions out there. Oh shit, there go J Nolan again. Contributed to the culture. Culture Weekend ATL. Rail Carter Culture Weekend, by the way. Look up Rail Carter. You know what I'm saying? Just in case people don't know who that is. I was booked as an artist and entrepreneur to come perform and educate people about the shit that I've been into for the last decade and a half prior to YouTube. Damn, there go J Nolan again, contributing to the culture. This is at NAMM out in Anaheim, motherfucking California, across the map from where I live. Room full of people who came to learn from me, Daraj, and a Clint, couple other homies about how to get their music in TV and film. Motherfuckers was in there taking notes. Line was wrapped around the goddamn door. You know what I'm saying? To come learn from us. 5 black men, 6 black men doing their motherfucking thing, contributing to this shit. Not on no YouTube shit. Not on no hip hop beef shit. Not on no back and forth. Real life. But since you want to talk about content, when the last time you talked about an album, not The Fall Off or motherfucking Iceman? Since you want to talk about what's going on in the culture, what's going on in hip hop, you want to talk about building it up and not talking about negativity, where you been at? You know what I'm saying? Hit Boy over here thanking me for covering his album and his motherfucking collab with AZ Chike just last week. Where you at? Chloe Bailey done been over here and thanked me for covering her music. Where you been at? Ray Vaughn makes his way over here when I cover his shit. Where you been at? Ruben Vincent and Ninth Wonder been in my chat covering they shit. Where you been at? Right? This is real life, homeboy. We not talking about no motherfucking content about no beef. We don't have to do that 100% of the time. There's so much more going on. And I don't get to cover everything because, yes, this is a situation where you have to make a profit. You have to do the risk versus reward shit. But we still make time for other things. Have you? I've actually interviewed upcoming artists and producers on my channel before. Shout out to Ryan Wild. Somebody you wouldn't even know or think about. But that's somebody who can reflect back on an experience with J Nolan in a positive light for shedding a spotlight on them at a time where it was crucial. You know what I'm saying? What have you done? When did you do that? Ever in life? I was just out of motherfucking Nashville a week and some change ago. Invited. Didn't have to be there, but my presence was requested. You know what I'm saying? To be at this music conference with all these different people. Fucking Makeba Woods, who wrote on damn near every Rihanna album. Gonna have a studio session with her next week. Not on no YouTube shit. This is why you can't talk to me. The only person I know in this YouTube community that could talk to me the way that I talk is Curtis King. Nobody else. And that's with love and respect to everybody else. But one thing you can never do is discredit J Nolan because I come from a world that you do not. I also come from one of the most culturally rich, black populated cities in fucking America. So you can never talk to me about culture. I live culture. I am culture. I was born into culture. I don't have to go looking for it. I don't have to go observing it and researching it. I am it. I live culture every fucking day, boy. A culture you could never find yourself being a part of. You can only be accepted as a spectator. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just understand your role as such. You want to talk about who covers drama and negativity, but you cool with the DJ that don't spin academics, y'all niggas yucking it up on streams with the type of shit that nigga got on his badge, y'all homies now? You could never have a conversation about what the fuck culture is or what hip hop is supposed to be or what niggas is supposed to talk about in your motherfucking life. So please never bring your motherfucking ass around here and try it again. Crawl your ass back into the Caucasus Mountains or something of that nature, in nature. is your best bet, okay? Now, I don't want to have to do this again. You know what I'm saying? There's other things going on in the world, in life. I don't know what made you come on my channel of all places and try to play that game. You know what I'm saying? And you got your little cronies and you got your little folks on Twitter who gonna hype that shit up. And they gonna say that that was a good move. It was not. It was not. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not angry. I'm real cool. But one thing you're not gonna do is play with a nigga name. You're not gonna play with a nigga history. You're not gonna play with a nigga contributions, because when this shit is all said and done, I actually have a real life impact in this shit beyond YouTube. You don't. Nobody knows where you exist or what your life was like other than the fact that you stole weed and money from elderly people. You know what I'm saying? You the one that comes out here and say some fly shit with your mouth and then blame it on your neurological issues and your medication after the fact. That ain't got shit to do with me, boy. Cut it out. Quit playing. Now, we're going to move on to other things. More content is on the way today. For those of you that tuned in for this bullshit, I appreciate it. Again, don't take my tone and my brazenness in this video as if I'm really affected or that I'm out of my I'm cool, baby. We good. We gonna smile, we gonna laugh, we gonna listen to music, we gonna do everything that we've been doing over here. Nothing will change. Okay? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if this is your first time seeing me on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Family Over Fame album is out now. You can always check that out. Hit the link in the description or check out the pinned comment. Go to Tune Goody, get your copy. I'm going to catch y'all a little bit later. Y'all be good out there, man. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stacks I built. I had